Trump announced his grand tariff scheme in April, and the result was the stock market crashed. He then announced he was rolling back the tariffs for 90 days, and he was going to make deals. Well, has he made any significant deals in the 90 days following the announcement in April?
Well, he's reached a couple framework agreements, one with the UK, which was a sort of a partial agreement with a lot of details to be worked out. He's reached an agreement of sorts with China, but it's a funny agreement because what it does, it sort of rolls back the escalation that happened after April. So we raised tariffs and we adopted a bunch of measures. China discovered that they had leverage over the United States in terms of being able to control the export of certain critical minerals and other products. They imposed restrictions, rare earths. They've imposed restrictions on that. And now there's a framework agreement of how to roll this back to where it was before. So it doesn't solve any of the fundamental issues in the US-China relationship. It just gets back to the situation before things began to escalate out of control.
So the history with China has been one of escalation and de-escalation, but as we sit here, nothing definite really has been arrived at, isn't that so?
Well, just some broad sense of how we're going to manage those sorts of issues. But the fundamental issues about China's excess capacity that's exporting to the rest of the world, the subsidization, the role of state-owned enterprises, its intellectual property rights practices, all of those issues which have a potentially significant distortive effect on international trade, those haven't yet been addressed. And as for the rest of the countries, he announced, as you said, on Liberation Day, April 2nd, some potential tariffs as high as 50% or so on countries like Laos and Lesotho, and then began this negotiation process. I think what the administration has found is that these negotiations take more time and are more difficult than they thought. And so they have talked about the potential for issuing letters just announcing what the new tariff would be, which is not a negotiation, it's just a unilateral statement.